Thank you, everyone, for holding. We are now joined with head coach Paul Petrino of Idaho. If you have a question for Coach Petrino, please press star 1 to get in the queue to ask questions at this time. Again, that's star 1 to get in the queue to ask questions for head coach Paul Petrino. The Vandals are coming into this game following a 55-48 loss in overtime at New Mexico State last week. Idaho now prepares for a game at South Alabama. That game will take place at 2 p.m. Central Time in Mobile and will be televised on ESPN3. Coach Petrino, before we get to questions, please give us your thoughts on last week's game against New Mexico State and the upcoming game against South Alabama.
Well, last week's game was was a very hard one to take. We had the game under control most of the game. We had 3 touchdown leads for many different times in the game. We were up by 14 with 5 minutes left to go, and we just didn't close the deal. So defensively we gave up way too many points in the second half. Offense, I thought, played very well. Threw for over 300. Rush, Elijah Penny over 190 yards rushing. Kaylin Hightower came out and had a good game, had 10 catches for over 100 yards. But we settled for a couple too many field goals and needed to score touchdowns and get a bigger lead early. So it was a tough one to take, but we got to bounce back going to play South Alabama. They're a very athletic team. They really fly around, play the game of football the way it's supposed to be played, play hard, play fast. So it should be an exciting, great game. It's a great atmosphere, and we're just excited to go down there and play well.
Thank you very much, Coach Petrino. As a reminder to our members of the media, please press star 1 at this time to get in the queue to ask questions. Coach, on Saturday you had Kaylin Hightower kind of step into a major role for your team with 10 catches for 115 yards and 1 touchdown. What are your thoughts on his performance coming in and stepping in that role?
I thought he did a real good job. Thought he had a great week of practice. There was a couple games leading into this game where we didn't play him much. He needed to kind of learn how to practice hard, and thought he learned his lesson, came out and had a great week of practice, and then, played very well. I thought he did a good job of running with the ball after the catch, ran his routes real well, and I was just proud of him. Thought he had a good game.
And Elijah Penny, again, 190 yards, you said it in your opening statement. What was really the key to his success? It seemed like most of his yards were just coming, even in between the tackles, even putting up 190 yards. Yeah,
he did a good job, and he also had a touchdown reception. So I thought, Elijah just played with, great effort, always was falling forward, was breaking tackles, and, they were hard 190 yards too. He really banged in there and ran hard. Our offensive line did a good job of run blocking. Jake Manley, our fullback, did a good job of blocking, and it was just a really good game by Penny.
And Coach, South Alabama, they like to run tempo on offense. They have they brought in a few new guys before the season, especially on the offensive side. With looking at their offense with Cody Clements at quarterback, what kind of challenges do you think it presents to your defense for this game against South Alabama?
You just got to do a good job of, he does a good job of throwing the ball. I think he keeps his eyes downfield. They're kind of the last year's UAB team. They kind of moved a whole bunch of those players down there. They understand the system. The offense coordinator came from there, and I think he's a real good quarterback and does a good job. Our defense got to have a great week of practice and prepare very well for him.
And finally, Coach, going up against South Alabama, their defensive backfield is one of the better ones in this conference. And, Matt Linehan, your quarterback, has a unique challenge in this game. But, last game he showed his ability to run the ball and also throw the ball very well. Head coach Joey Jones said he, saw him on film and was very impressed. But what's been the biggest key to his play lately, going into the South Alabama game?
He's gotten better and better. He's just a sophomore, but he's a 2-year starter, and I think with every game he plays, he just gets more comfortable, and I think his junior and senior year he's going to just be a real special player because he just keeps improving every week. And last week when he had to go make things happen with his feet and make runs, he did it, and when he had to stand in there and make throws, he did it. So I just think he's improving each week.
All right, Coach Petrino, we appreciate your time this morning. That's all the questions we have.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.